where we are going to go over the cards of the month. Again, when I set up the stand and it looks like you can see a certain part of my body, I ended up, hi John, I ended up, and it's the camera gets set a lot higher than I think. And look at this one down here. I am recording a video to be posted up on YouTube, and that is, again, really not the angle I wanted. So hold on, I'm going to walk to the door and turn the overhead light off and see if we can address some of the glare. I doubt it, but it's always fun to try. Nope. 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 Okay, you guys, you're going to get glare. That's just freaking how it is because I have glasses on. Anyway, maybe I'll just take them off. Okay, you guys, welcome to Queenie's Wednesday Night Live. I wish I could see you. My close-up vision is really fun. Who cares about the glare? All right. Hi. So tonight we're going to do the cards for the month of September. We're going to look at the energy of the month of September. We're going to do my usual thing with, meandering in between, which is the way I do it. And so there. It's important to hydrate. It's hot here, and it's important to hydrate. I am so horrified by how glary the glare is. How do these people do it? Anyway, all right. So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and this is going to be the overview, the overarching theme of the whole month that we're pulling from the Fairies Oracle crowd deck by Brian Froud. I mixed some words together there. And come on, there you go. And the reason this deck is so big is because I have a big deck. No, it's because it's two of these decks all together in one, because I had one deck that I got in 1999, and it started wearing out about, 12 years ago. And so I got a second one, and I decided that they should be together. So sometimes when I do readings for people, like a full layout of readings, we'll get two of the same card. And that always means whatever it means at the time it means it, because that's how I do readings. So let's find our card for the overview of the month. I bet it's you. Here we go. All right, we're going to put these guys aside. Okay, I like it. Oh, a little more lighthearted this month. This is good, guys. September is a little more lighthearted. So let's start up here on the Facebook Live. This is the fawn. And then I'll show it here on this video. This is the fawn. Okay? Now, the fawn is playful. It's very, I wish I wouldn't have had to turn those fans off, guys. It is playful. It is connected to natural magic. So maybe this September there is a lightening up that needs to happen, a lightening up process that is happening. This tells me, because the fawn is connected to natural magic, is that it is time to get outside. It is time to commune with nature, as it were, in any way, shape, or form that you can commune with nature. Whether that is you actually going outside and hanging out with trees, sitting on the grass, putting your feet on the ground. That the fawn is very playful, and that's, hopping around and dancing around. It's the full moon. Dance outside under the light of the moon. Years ago, when I lived in Louisiana, I snuck outside one full moon. And I'll tell you, when you sneak outside with hardly any clothes on during a full moon in Louisiana in kind of the summertime, you risk a lot of mosquito bites and various other things crawling around in the grass. But I guess I put my big stomper boots on and I went out into the backyard, and I just kind of used my headphones with at that time it was a CD player, one of those little Walkmans or whatever, and I danced around under the light of the moon when it was a full moon. That was me bringing a little priestess vibe to the evangelical area that I lived in. And, nobody saw me. I didn't have a fence in my backyard, but nobody was out there. And if they were, oh well. Oh well. They saw me celebrating the full moon. So this is kind of what the fawn likes to do. And so this month needs to be, it's kind of giving you the opportunity. I was going to say challenging you, but I think it's giving you the opportunity to be more playful about things. It has been hard. I think last month was a card that was a little heavy and, or a little intense anyway. And this month it's time to lighten up. With the fawn is kind of made of light. So that's a little bit more kind of, mentally clearing. And part of the mental clearing is that you're going to need to go out and get into nature. You're going to have to rediscover a more, I guess, more primal, I don't know, more natural joy, because the fawn is joy. And, fawn is the deer, and the deer is gentle, so there's like a gentleness to this month that might have been lacking last month or the month before. I'm getting really strong messaging that regardless, just like I did with the card of the week last week, that regardless of what's happening with us, that we have to find some way to be playful about it and to be light about it, even in heavy things. And that doesn't mean that you're not taking your responsibilities seriously, that you're not, stepping up when you need to step up, but it means finding a way to somehow be a little light about it and somehow be playful about it, because that is all the fun. And also to make sure that you take nature breaks. What are nature breaks? Like I said, go outside, look out the window. If you can't get outside, look out the window. This is part of self-care, and we forget because we get so stuck in our day-to-day autopilot grind that we forget that we are in bodies, and that our bodies are natural and part of nature, and nature is part of us, and we need to rediscover that and reconnect with that, and do it in a playful way this September. So that's the overview of the month. So I like that. I like that for us. I like that for us a lot. I'll probably make a TikTok on just that card a little later, depending on my energy levels. All right, so then we are going to pull the Moon and Gatorade today. I'm feeling it. Yeah. Oh, I am not an astrologer, but I live with one. My daughter is a really amazing astrologer, and there are a lot of planets in retrograde. So, what I understand about that is that there may be things that you had dealt with or thought that you had dealt with already that you are having to revisit in a new way. And things are coming up for healing that you, so basically it feels like when planets are in retrograde in general, and now especially, I think there are like 7 major planets that are in retrograde right now. It can be kind of like looking up your own ass, honestly. Yes, I said a dirty word. It's like looking up your own arse. And so you're like, I already thought that I dealt with this, but you're revisiting it so that you can deal with another layer of healing about it, or deal with it a different way. So I think Venus is in retrograde. We are revisiting past relationships that maybe didn't end well or did end well, or we're revisiting, and it might even not be the actual past relationship. It just might be a current situation that looks like that relationship. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I highly recommend looking into it. There are plenty of people who do astrology that you will be able to see. Some of them are very woo-woo, but not all of them are. Not all of them are, and it's pretty interesting. And I've been feeling it myself with everything going on. And it's like, at, some of it happened in 2017, and I'm revisiting like 2017 with my feet being difficult and annoying and making it hard for me to walk. Really easy for me to ride, but very, like, a little hard for me to walk too much. So, and so I have some sort of Pisces, which rules the feet thing going on. Anyway, that's my woo-woo corner. Hi, welcome to Queenie's Woo-Woo Corner. Okay, so the overview is the fawn, which means that all this stuff, we need to find a way to be playful about it, and we need to not forget that we're in bodies, and that sometimes we need to go outside and get some air. That is the best way to chill out. The best way to lower your anxiety is to just go outside, get some air, maybe take a walk. If you're like me and you can't take too much of a walk, just go outside. Go outside, stand next to a tree, connect. Connect with that. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, there's all kinds of interesting things going on out in nature that we forget about. And what happens is when we pay attention to it, it helps us forget about the stuff that's going on with us currently. It gives us a mental break. It kind of resets our system a little bit if we let it. And with the fawn, you're being given the opportunity to do that. And the fawn, again, playful. So let's go and pick a spirit, easy for me to say. Guess what? Mercury's in Gatorade too. Oh yeah, I know. I heard. It's bad all over the place. But yeah, biking in the rain. I like a little sprinkle. I like a little sprinkle on my cycle. I love my bike. I love both my bikes. Anyway, so now we're going to do the Spirit Cats card by Nicole PR. So we're going to pull one of those. And this is our message from them for the month. Yeah, I'm shuffling them. I'm shuffling off to Buffalo. No, not really. I'm not going to Buffalo. You never know. Sometimes nature and dealing with nature, especially if the air quality is so bad where you are, involves if you've got house plants, or you know what, in a pinch, go on YouTube and watch one of those videos on your TV or your phone or whatever, that about that's undersea creatures, or just the nature scenes. You know how they have the drone footage over the nature scenes, over the mountains and everything like that? That can be a little bit of a trick in a pinch. Hi, Laura. Okay, so the Spirit Cats card is this guy. Hello. Hello. I'm showing it to the phone because I'm taking video of this along with this live, so I'll upload it to YouTube. Anyway, so this kitty is kind of like what I was talking about when I was talking about when I lived in Louisiana and I went out into my yard with hardly anything on, listening to music and dancing under the full moon. Night magic. So this cat is supporting us for this next month. Hi, Nada. Meet Vespertine, no sleep for the wild. She is a swirl of creativity and nighttime escapades. She is pure nocturnal playfulness and mystery. See, there's a lot of playful that's supposed to happen this month. Going out at night is not only for the young. Night magic is for everyone. Explore the night, go out dancing or walk under the stars. Gather with your friends and talk into the wee hours. Sing and play music under the moonlight. Stay up to watch a meteor shower or a lunar eclipse. See the sun rise while the world sleeps. Watch your perspective expand and shift. You have more energy than you believe. Okay, so again, it's talking about a certain level of playfulness, and I know for myself that I've been only venturing a little out socially at night, a little more than in the last couple of years, but still not enough to face my anxiety and kind of, let's see, I'm doing cognitive behavioral therapy, and one of those things is you go into what you're anxious about, especially if it's not harmful. You go into what you're anxious about. Mine in particular can be social anxiety or anxiety in general. I have a really hard time shutting my brain off, so I'm worried about stuff all the time, or trying to plan, trying to prepare so that I'm not caught off guard or whatever. Even though when I'm caught off guard, I generally can roll with it. I don't like it, but I can roll with it. So I was supposed to go out, speaking of dancing, I was supposed to go out dancing last weekend, but I couldn't do it. So I'm giving myself an assignment, so I have to do that again. And I have to go and be social a little more often. But I do feel like I do worry about my energy levels. And even though it's generally fine, you know. So that's my little, that little cat just gave me a message, or reminded me of what I am trying to accomplish with myself, because it's okay to be an introverted extrovert, which is kind of what I am, or an extroverted introvert. I don't know. It's both of those. It's okay to be that. But also the last couple of years, ever since 2020 happened, it really affected me. On one hand, it was like this weird gift that I didn't have to force myself to go somewhere because I was worried that I was going to miss something or meet someone or whatever. And it kind of did a reset. And I think it did that with everybody. So I guess it's time now to kind of come back to it in a new way. And maybe that's what these cards are saying for you in whatever area of your life that it seems to be hitting on for you. Now we are going to go into the beginning of the month, the major arcana cards for the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. So starting tomorrow, And I've decided that the cards that we're going to use for that are these Blooming Cat Spirit cards. I like the Starman deck, but I feel like this month I want to give the cards every chance for things to be a little lighter than they were last month. How about that? How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? No, I'm sorry. That didn't work. That didn't work. It was funny though to me. And listen, if I'm gonna look at myself make a video, might as well be funny to me. And that's what I do. If anyone has any tips on how to make it so that it doesn't glare like this, I'd be happy to know, unless I'm supposed to just do it completely in the dark. Well, I don't even think that, because it's the light off the iPad and the phone that's doing it. All right, so who is the first part of the month? Oh my God. Do you know that I think I need to do it reverse, because I put it out and I purposely put it right side up, but it swirled around on its own. So it was probably, my finger probably stuck to it or something somehow, but let's see. Okay. Yeah, you don't want that either. Okay. Fun. Okay, so the first part of the month is from, of course, September 1st to about September 12th. And then we have September 12th to the 21st. And then we have September 21st, 22nd to, 13th to the 21st, 22nd to the 30th. How about that? Okay. Oh, wow. I just realized how fast some things are coming up. Anyway, so the first card that I pulled that I wanted to be right side up is the Empress. But she flipped herself upside down. I don't read cards that are upside down as anything bad. I read them as either something that we're resisting or something that's happening on a very deep level. Here's the Empress. The Empress is Major Arcana card number 3. The Empress is about creativity, magnetism. She's pictured in most decks as a woman on a horse, probably a pregnant woman on a horse, and with a parade being thrown for her. This is a creative card. This is about creativity, radiance, beauty, magnetism, joy, and another card about playfulness, because the number 3 is always very creative and playful and lighthearted and very young at heart. So the fact that she was kind of upside down to start out with, to me, probably means that there's still some leftover feelings from the heaviness of last month that makes us resist the playful kind of natural magic kind of vibe that starts happening in September, and it takes us a little while to get into it. Now, having the Empress card be reversed, I think, like I said, I think this is something that is being resisted. I highly recommend, doing what I suggested at the beginning, is to either get out in nature, experience nature of some kind. If you cannot get outside, watch some sort of nature program, or not a nature program with somebody talking. I think some program or some YouTube video or something where it's just nature scenes, really beautiful, amazing nature scenes, whether they're close up and you're seeing things bloom, or whether they're far away and it's a drone and you're looking at amazing landscapes, animals. Watch those. If you can't get outside, and like with Kenny, it was too smoky to get outside. I know that some people are going to have that, or if you're not in any condition to be going outside, then I highly recommend those so that you can connect with that feeling and understand. I'm going to that all those beautiful things that you were seeing, those beautiful scenes that you were seeing, you are part of that world. We exist in a world that looks like that and that feels like that. And how amazing is that? How amazing is it that a little teeny tiny plot of land, like a little teeny tiny square of earth, can be teeming with life? I know that sounds really scary if you don't like bugs, and I just realized that. But hey, it's teeming with life. Walking down the street, you see plants, flowers, even if it's a weed, poking up through the sidewalk, just literally busting out with life through things that we built. We can't contain it. And so that's kind of what, I mean, that sort of excitement about nature, that's kind of like the fawn's excitement about nature. So it's hard not to resist it when you've been having to deal with stuff, consistently deal with stuff for at least the last month or so. It's been kind of intense. So the Empress card, we have the possibility and the potential to, this card about receiving. I mean, the Empress just shows up and people just give her stuff. So she shows, and you know how she shows up? She shows up just as herself with no apologies or anything like that. Just herself. Gratitude for just being there, for being part of things. That's how she shows up. And that's the beginning of the month. See how it would feel. What would it feel like to just show up to your life like that? I belong here. I exist. I am worthy of love and attention, and I am worthy of life's gifts simply because I exist. I am part of the world, and the world is part of me. That helped me say that out loud. What do you think? All right, so now we can go to the middle of the month, which is interesting because I think we're going to have to integrate some stuff in the middle of the month. So from the 13th to the 21st, I pulled the Hermit card. That's why I'm saying that we have to integrate some things. So the first card, the beginning of the month, we're attracting some things to us. We're working on, feeling ourselves a little bit. And then in the middle of the month, it's time to, what this is, okay, I use the word integrate, but what I'm talking about is taking that feeling yourself and embodying it, like integrating it into, how you've been. Okay. It's almost like alchemy. Sometimes it takes time for us to digest things when we start to build our self-esteem and feel better about ourselves and our place in the world, and feel more part of things. Sometimes we have to retreat just a little bit to integrate those feelings, so when we come back out, we can come back out with that confidence that we just gained. Does that make sense? I hope so. I was trying to make it make sense, and it is a process that is kind of hard to articulate, but alchemy is a good word for it. Where you take something that is existing, add something a little bit new to it, which would be the Empress card, and it creates something completely new, but the process takes time. And the Hermit is an indicator of the time that it will take to integrate this new confidence and this new magnetism and playfulness and creativity. Like, I know that people think that the hermit can't be playful, but I'm pretty sure that the hermit is playful. I know that when I'm alone, I make myself laugh my ass off. I'm I'm hilarious to myself. I am not very politically correct with myself. Sometimes I'm more politically correct with myself now than I ever was before. But you know, when you're raised in Nevada, where we would get books that were like 1,000 insert your nationality here jokes, and read them and stuff. And you know, I was raised in the late 60s and 70s. It was kind of a different, there were different sensibilities then, uh, to the effect that there probably weren't a lot of sensibilities then. Uh, that doesn't make it okay now, but it does kind of make it interesting that we have gone this far and gone this long with that kind of stuff was okay for as long as it was okay. Anyway, so we've got the hermit in the middle of the month. This is a sort of a retreat, or not like an enforced retreat. It's a choice to practice self-care, a choice to, okay, I'm a little overstimulated, I'm going to retreat just a little bit to recharge my batteries and to access what my truth is. I've been out in the world enough, which the Empress would be out in the world a lot, and now I need to retreat a little bit to figure out what's mine, what feels right to me, so that I can take that and move forward. That's kind of, that feels right. Okay, and now we're going to go towards the end of the month. Sorry about my voice. I'm allergic to something that's going on around. So the end of the month, which is the 22nd until the 30th of September, we have the Chariot card. This is funny. Those cats aren't taking them anywhere. Come on now. Look at that. There's no fish to lure them. Anyway, the cats. Here, I'm sorry, buddy. There we go. Did I show you the hermit card? I forgot about the other camera. I was so enraptured with you. Okay, so the Chariot card. That is card number 7. That is about, there is an adjustment, but what I feel this is, there's forward movement with the Chariot card. The Chariot card is about developing mastery over your mind and emotions. And so that is kind of like the culmination of having retreated or taking the time that you need to retreat, you know, and be the hermit for just a little while, or take breaks from humanity for just a little while, maybe nature breaks, by the way. And that will assist you to feel like you can move forward in a more focused manner. And why, by focused, like I said, the charioteer develops mastery over the mind and emotions. Apparently, one of these cats is the mind, and one of them is the emotions. Now, granted, the look of this card does not look like they're moving them forward at any point in time, but it is very stylized and cute. In the traditional Chariot card, there's I guess there's a black horse and a white horse, or pulling the charioteer forward. The charioteer generally has a shield on their chest, so basically, as they move forward, they are kind of protecting their soft, vulnerable parts so that they can get focused and make some headway. And that's kind of what we're doing towards the end of the month, is that we may have had to retreat and hermit a little bit. That was only to reinforce the protection of all the new stuff, of all the new feelings and sensations, and accomplish the accomplished feelings of the Empress at the beginning of the month. You're integrating with the Hermit, and then you're moving into the Chariot card, which means you're moving forward while protecting the softness that the Empress brought at the beginning. And maybe, just maybe, your life has been missing a little bit of softness, and it might feel a little surprising, and so therefore you would need to protect it so that you can move forward. And that's what the 3 cards of the beginning and the middle and the end of the month are. We are going to move along. I had shown you this deck, this one here. I bought this on Etsy, and I can't remember what the name of the deck is, but it doesn't come with any meanings. So basically it's just pictures and sayings, and I'll just riff off of that and see what we can do here. Down here, we've got these things. I'm sporting these things, and you know, they're kind of cute, but they're a little long. My hair's out of control, you guys. My bangs are too long. My hair's out of control. I haven't had a haircut since, like, I don't know, July. No. Yeah, maybe July. I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to let it grow a little bit, but I need to cut my bangs. And I'm vain enough to worry about it. So, I don't know why I keep saying that vain is a bad thing. But, I mean, my kind of vain is, I just use it for worry. Actually. Will they love me? Do you love me? If I'm not cute, do you love me? Yeah, that's vanity. Hello. Okay, so here's this. Oh my God. That is hilarious. You may not be able to read this, but I'll read it to you after I show it to you. It says, if you believe, and they spelled believe wrong. Maybe it's on purpose. If you'll believe in me, I'll believe in you. Is that a bargain? Nice. Hilarious. But they spell it. Okay. Little thing about Queenie. I have a peeve about spelling. I don't mean to, but I have a peeve about spelling. And I know that there's some words that I kind of created for myself, and maybe this is the same thing here. Maybe it's be live or be live. Maybe it's that, or be live or be live. But if it's supposed to be believe, at least they have the I before the E, but there's no E there. There's no E there. How could they not have an E? My name starts with an E. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I thought that was really interesting, considering the little skit I just did for you about loving me. All right, so let's see if we can tie these together. The next card that I'm going to pull is the Spirit Animal Oracle. And we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out, you guys. We're going to do it. We can do it. We can rebuild it. I always have to watch the camera below, because the camera below has like, gets my knees and the table and everything too. And I just got to make sure, even though I'm hot, not to hoist up my skirt a little bit. Don't believe me. You just keep that to your imagination, because really, no. Okay. Hello. let go of the other card. Oh, very nice. I'm not going to give it to you. No, I'm just kidding. Remember I was talking about the little patch of earth that's teeming with life? Ant spirit. Time to collaborate. Time to collaborate. So, I like that. So we're talking, oh, somebody else wanted to come out too. Oh, didn't we have this before? Armadillo spirit was stuck and wanted to come back out. So we're going. Okay, so remember I was talking about that little patch of grass that's teeming with life. Well, we got ant spirit. So let's find out. Let's find out what this is all about. Page 3. Okay, come on. Oh, okay. Somehow, in this light, it just looks like this book is smaller and the writing is smaller, but I know that that's not true. Time to collaborate. The oracle meaning for this is when ant spirit comes to visit, it is time to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as a part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one that you have with Spirit. Oh, that's just never going to get fixed, so don't worry about it. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation or nature walks or nature connecting, by the way. It's to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it is unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time. There's a dog barking outside. You are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you. Everything is working to support you right now. So maybe you are not sure how to get out into nature or how to connect with nature, or maybe you need some assistance with that. Maybe you need some assistance with something else. These cards this energy is about asking for help. It's about noticing the help that you do have around you and acknowledging it. I guess acknowledging that, like that little the little square of land that I was talking about, that your life is teeming with life and that there is support out there. So this card is saying, yes, there is support. The other card that came up automatically with it was Armadillo Spirit, and it's hilarious to me. There is support, ask for help, but set healthy boundaries. Because sometimes when we ask for help, people mean well, but they get all up in our biz, and it doesn't make it better. It makes it a little bit worse. So setting healthy boundaries is good. Let's see. Learning to set healthy boundaries is the gift of Armadillo Spirit. You are entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been okay for you in the past. So there's a certain kind of help that might not be okay now. Sometimes people offer help with prices that are too high. Some of the offers of help you get are people that want to control you, because if your life was controlled by them, they feel like they would be more comfortable. that if you were doing what they wanted you to do, they would be more comfortable. And how many times have you, before you kind of figured it out, had friends or relationship, children relationships with people that you really wish that they would take your advice more often because, you know, if they would do what you would like them to do, you sure would feel a lot more comfortable and be less nervous for them all the time. But we can't control other people. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of just how it is. We're and and here's another thing about that is that we don't have to be around people that don't feel good if we don't want to. And that is hard for people. That's a hard boundary for people to set. Also, oh, I had it. It's going to come back. Don't worry, it's coming back. It's coming back. Let's see. We don't have to be around people that. Don't worry, I'm talking low, but when I get the point, it's going to get louder. Also, brain fart. Excuse me, I just had a brain fart. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. It came back. It came back. All right, here's the thing. We, as much as we mean well, trying to assist other people and trying to control other people's behavior, we ultimately, even if it's your child, we don't know why they're making the choices that they're making. We can only guess, and we don't know what's internally going on with them, just like nobody knows what's actually internally going on with us. And you can't, like, there's only so much control you can exert over another human being. Even if you just want them to be okay. I have learned this over and over and over again because I'm kind of a control freak and I'd really like people to behave, but they don't. And I've had to just kind of go with it and nod and smile. And I've also had to end interactions with people that I either experienced secondhand embarrassment all the time or just like that made me uncomfortable. That maybe they aren't toxic to somebody else, but it felt toxic to me. So I've had to either put them at a distance or cut them out entirely because my energy is valuable. And also too, like, who wants to have a relationship with somebody that you're constantly feeling like you have to tell them how to do things and they don't listen and they just won't because they've got their own plans? Other people are going to have their own plan. You're going to have your own plans. It's kind of like this too. When somebody is addicted to a substance or a feeling or a person, they are not going to stop regardless of how you would like for them to stop. They are going to stop when they stop for themselves. They're not going to stop for you, no matter how much you love them and no matter how much you try. There's a switch that's inside each of us that will flick when we know that we've had enough and we want to stop. No amount, like, you can give them all the tools that you could possibly give them. This doesn't mean that you give up on people. This just gives you a place to where you kind of understand that this human being has a path of their own and they're going to have to find their own way. You can shine a light every once in a while and you can brighten up things every once in a while. But until they decide that they want to make the changes they need to make things better, it's not going to necessarily get better. And I've had people in my life where I have had to just let go of because I couldn't watch. I could not watch it. And that's like an armadillo spirit boundary. Sometimes you just can't watch. And that doesn't mean that it's permanent, but it means that you are not going to be doing them any good, and it's certainly not going to be doing you any good. And I hope that that doesn't sound heartless, because it really, sometimes it's the most loving thing to do. And I don't know where we meandered into this part of the conversation, but it feels important to say. And so I'm going to say it. And this might not be something that other people agree with, and maybe it's not a popular opinion, but sometimes the best act of self-love and unconditional love for another human being is to let them find their path. Okay, so that was armadillo spirit talking, obviously, or not, or maybe it was me. But I've had some things happen a lot of things happen in my life, because I've been here for 60 years, and that has a tendency to have history to it, you think? And it was so hard on me, and hard for the other person to be in relationship with me, because I couldn't control what they were doing. I couldn't stop them from doing it. And you learn that, like I said, with your children and with other relationships. And it's just sometimes you have to set a boundary. You have to let that go. Let your control go over what somebody else is doing. Hey, yes, step in if it's fucking dangerous. Pardon me. I should not have used the F word. I'll have to edit that out, maybe. I don't think so. If it's dangerous, I'll just never be able to monetize on YouTube. Let's just put it that way. If it's dangerous, yes, step in, but understand that they're going to have to decide not to engage in the behavior. Anyway, that was Tough Talk with Queenie, and I love you. So we're going to go back to the cards. And I wanted to pull a card from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. And I got this from a friend that I hope that they're okay, but I had to step back from, because it just wasn't healthy for me, and it was not working for me, and I didn't feel like enabling them, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, so I had to step back. Anyway, but this is a really great deck, and I much appreciate it, and I send love. But I have to do what's right for me. Okay, so we're going to pull one of these. Oh, another Believe card, except, by the way, it's spelled correctly. I love the purple. Really beautiful. Okay, well, let's see what this card says. Did you guys know that you're my favorites? You are my favorites. My favorites. I really appreciate that you guys watch. I really do. It's very nice. It helped get me through the pandemic, and beforehand. I am having a hot flash. It's awesome, and I can't use the fan, so I'm just gonna turn into a puddle and melt and melt and melt It's right in front of you. Isn't that fabulous? Okay. Keyword for this card is faith. Oh, this feels like the closer card, but we'll talk about other stuff. But you've pulled this card to remind you to believe in yourself, your divinity, and to have faith in spirit. This may be a time when you have been facing questions about your life and asking for answers. You may wish to know if you are on your right path. This card tells you that you are divinely guided. Release all your doubts. If someone tells you that your dreams are not realistic, remember, who are they to judge your path? You have, see? I'm talking about paths now. Trust your own path. You have a voice within that gives you the answers. It will not lie to you. Listen to its message. It will only give you sound advice. It may be time for you to evaluate your belief in a higher power. Realize that you are part of this highest intelligence. You are made of the same stuff. Your faith in your connection, and rejoice that it is so. Have faith in your connection and rejoice that it is so. Obviously, my brain is starting to shut off. Believing is a very important step in actually manifesting your good on earth. Believe also in the other realms that you cannot necessarily see. They believe in you. And like you, they are divine by birth. They will help you work with the concept of faith if you just ask for their help. So we talk about asking for help as far as the ant spirit card. And this doesn't just mean asking for physical help from people that are in bodies around you. This can be asking for help in general, in making some sort of proclamation. Hey, could use a little support here. I'm open. I'd like some help from spirit, or however you believe. You'd be surprised what you can magnetize. And with the Empress card at the beginning of the month, you could magnetize a lot. And that would be really awesome. So let's see. They will help you work with the concept of faith if you just ask for their help. And these cards come with a chant, which is kind of fun. I believe in the divine spirit that guides me. I trust my inner knowledge. I am part of the divinity manifested on earth. Wherever I go, so walk my angels and my guides. I am never alone. I am supported by life itself. So be it. Believe in fairies today. Can you believe in fairies? You know I'm the fairy queen. So let's try and tie this. We can tie this together with the rest of the cards. I mean, this is believing your connection. If we go back to the beginning card, the fawn, this is believing your connection with nature. My connection with my cat that just walked in to be pet. Believing in your connection to nature, believing in the fact that you're part of it, it's part of you, and how magical that is, and how like we're just walking energy that's kind of, we're perceiving what the forms are. Like I'm looking at all these shoes that I have and thinking, if those are energy, like I'm perceiving anyway. Ooh, let's get weird. Let's get weird, you guys. No, let's pet my cat. Calico Bunny came for a visit, and she really likes being pet on the butt. It makes her a little testy. Oh, I gotta pull my dress down a little bit for YouTube. Sorry. Anyway, so each month when I do these, I want to think that I remember the cards for last month, but sadly, I don't. And also what happens when I'm talking to you is sometimes it's so stream of consciousness that I don't remember, that I really don't remember some of the things that I've said. And that's what I used to call petting the cat. I used to call conscious channeling. So basically, because I've seen over the years, I've gone and seen people doing channeling, especially in the 80s and late 80s and early 90s mostly, when I was involved with a lady named Judith Conrad on her radio show that she had on KEST. I got to go to some events and meet some of her people that she had on her radio show. She was a psychic, tarot reader, and a business coach. She business coached me a little bit, but obviously it didn't take. Ha ha. But or maybe it did. I don't know. Um, we went to channeling, or we went to an event, and there were three people there. The first person was talking about rebirthing, which is a very interesting thing, and I've done it a couple of times. One time was really nice, and the first time was really horrifying, and I didn't like it. But because the circular breathing made me panic, and there were a lot of things that made me panic. But anyway, and the other person had written a book about manifestation. I think his name was James Dubois, and he wrote this little manifestation book. And he also owned the Dubois winery. So he manifested that. I think that's it passed down through his family. And then there was another person. Oh my God, her name just popped into my head. I should look her up. Her name was Sally Adderton, and she was a channel, and I guess she channeled the Ascended Masters or something. This was her thing, was channeling the Ascended Masters. That was the lens that she viewed things through, and that was the lens that she expressed things through. And I was kind of fascinated because I was looking at energy then. I was doing readings for other people, for clients and stuff by that time. And I was watching energy, and I was watching her. And I watched her walk up, and I watched her kind of energetically step back, and I watched a group. I thought I could have sworn I saw like a group of energy beings kind of behind her, and each one would step forward. They would take turns and speak through her. And it was really interesting. Now, I knew that that wasn't something that I would want to do because I'm a control freak, so I want to have control of my body a lot of the time. Although I do like some of the speaking that I do to you, like I said, I won't remember. It doesn't mean that I'm not here when it's happening. It's just that it's like I would like to call it inspired action or inspired expression. Like I get inspired to continue with a thought or follow through with a concept to get to the close of it, and that's kind of exciting and passionate for me. And so watching her was interesting. And I don't know what happened to her, but I think Saint Germain was one that she channeled, and a lot of people at that point in time. That was the late 80s, like anytime between 1987 to 1991 was this time where there were all these new age figures or gurus, as it were, that would come up, and they would be channeling things, and their type of channeling was that they would step back, and another quote unquote being, this was in their perception, that was in their belief system, that's how they expressed it, would step forward. Like before that, there was Ramtha, there was Lazarus, which was a gentleman named I think it's Jacques Purcell or Zach Purcell. And there are all kind. I had cassette tapes of the Lazarus stuff, and the Lazarus stuff was just really, it was about manifestation. Everything was about manifestation. Let's just put it that way. You know, Shakti Gawain with her creative visualization book. It was all happening. It was all trying to go from the 80s capitalism and use the new age movement and capitalize the new age movement. And it's still going on with these MLMs and you know, multi-level marketing things and Oh, that is an MLM. Anyway, but it's still kind of going on. So we had that. Lazarus had all these meditations that were just these whimsical, incredible visualization thing. Like he would take you, his voice, which was really, really soothing, would take you through these incredible, like self-hypnosis sessions. And it was really, I really liked them. And that's part of the reason why I took a hypnotherapy class, so that I could learn hypnosis for people, to take people on journeys within themselves. And so there was him, Abraham Hicks. There was Seth, oh, Jane Roberts, who channeled Seth, which was really interesting. And the first, like before, like after the spiritualist movement in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'm losing people, I understand, but this is kind of a history thing that I'm interested in. Um, then Seth Speaks was the first book that she wrote, that she channeled Jane Roberts, and that kind of went into Esther Hicks, Esther and Esther Hicks, Jerry and Esther Hicks, and Esther channeling Abraham, and Abraham Hicks law of attraction. It's a big thing. Yes, it's a big money maker, but it's also getting out these messages about how our thoughts and our perceptions of things can shift and change, and how they kind of create what shows up in our lives. That doesn't mean that if shit shows up in your life that you're a horrible person. Everybody has bad days. But it also means that if you can shift your focus to what's working, as opposed to only specifically focusing on what you don't have and what's not working, if you can shift your focus just a little bit over to what is working, that will be just like, oh, back to the beginning, just like going out into nature and giving yourself a reset. If you're having an anxious day, or a sad day, or just a frustrating day, taking a walk outside, looking out the window, looking at those drone things, about watching nature, this can give you that reset. And that's kind of what they're talking about when you're talking about the law of attraction. They're not telling you to beat the crap out of yourself if you have negative thoughts. They're telling you, okay, so you have negative thoughts. What's good? What might be good to kind of reset, so that you can start over with it? She jokes around and says, okay, well, if you started the day, and you initially all of a sudden launch that momentum of crappy thinking, go back to sleep, meditate, take a walk, do something that just takes you out, do something that stops the momentum of that. That doesn't mean you're not going to have a crappy day. Esther Hicks has crappy days, but she understands the nature of the whole thing, so she knows that she can get back to feeling better, because all of it, and the whole message of that, from what I understand, is it's about how you feel. It's not necessarily about what you're thinking at any given moment. How do you feel about that thought? If you can shift your focus to feel a little better about that thought, or think a better feeling thought, then you can kind of shift gears and do a little bit of a reset. But nothing beats just doing something else for a while. If you're hyper focused on things that aren't working, nothing will beat doing something else for a while. And I'm not talking about, I mean, we could go back into the addiction conversation, but you know, that's kind of a different animal, because that's escaping. That is more escaping. This is resetting. uh it's one of them operates more on denial of things, and the other operates on, like, not necessarily denial, but just a shift of, okay, well, that's there, so is this. Hey, this makes me feel better. I can go from feeling helpless to being pissed off, and that's a better feeling. That's more up the emotional scale. It's a better trajectory than that. Okay, so Abraham's one of those ones that channeled. We had Lazarus, we had Ramtha. There's all kinds of people who were doing this at that time. And so I was kind of fascinated with how it worked. And I was also fascinated with mediums, but I didn't really experience a lot of that until, like, all the mediums on TV now. And I've been told that's some of what I do, but it's not. I don't think that that's my path or my focus, really. I don't see dead people all the time. I feel stuff a lot of the time if I focus in, but it's not like a 24/7 thing. That's a thing. That's another thing that people get twisted about people who do psychic work, is that they're reading your mind all the time. I don't want in there. I don't want you in here. Why would I want to do that all the time? No, no, no. You know, that's like having other people's intrusive thoughts intruding in your thoughts. No, thank you. Anyway, I have probably talked long enough. Don't forget to embrace and experience and play with some natural magic this month. Don't forget. And I hope that this talk helped you whatever parts of the conversation hit you and felt good. Keep that. Anything that seemed weird and strange and off-putting to you, you can throw that away too. That's all right. You can throw that away. But know that I always set the intent that I'm going to be helpful, and that I'm going to help myself, and I'm going to help you with whatever comes out of my mouth during the course of the time. Thank you. Thanks for watching, Robert. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I love you very much. And with that, another Cards of the Month video for September 23. Oh, the year's almost over. I'll talk to you later. Bye.